I tell my appraisers, say, listen, you show up to one of these luxury properties that's almost 10,000 square feet, and you know you're going to be there over an hour, trying to sketch this sucker out. Use Kubicasa.
Originating from deep inside the Rocky Mountains, transported through the power of the internet, and arriving inside your tiny earbuds. It's the Appraiser Coach Podcast.
Minisode.
Well, let me begin this mini-sode by telling you that Kubicasa, I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it, that's what I've been told, Kubicasa is not a sponsor of this program. You're going to get a very unbiased, straightforward review, and I will also tell you I've only used it 3 times, so there's my database for you. Not much to go on. It's statistically not significant. This is definitely not a scientific approach. All right, folks, thank you for joining. We, of course, are sponsored today by A Now Software. What is it? Well, it is not just a way to keep track of every report that you're working on and make sure that you don't have another late report again. It's also a way to keep track of your business. What I mean by that is it allows you to see the numbers in your business, which allows you to make the right decisions in your business. You can find out more by going to their website at anow.com, anow.com. All right, folks, there is a program out there. You've probably heard about it. If you've not, that's okay. It's okay if it's your first time. But it's been around for a while, and it's been pretty popular amongst appraisers over the last year or so. And the program is spelled Cubicasa, I think. It may be 2 S's. Pretty sure that it's Cubi, like as in cubicle, Kubicasa, like as in Spanish for house. I have no idea if that's actually where the name came from, but that's what I always think of when I hear the name. Again, I don't know a lot about this company. I don't know their history. I don't know, their setup, their funding, nothing, right? All I know is it is a company that provides anyone, but specifically appraisers, the opportunity to, sketch a property, get a floor plan, if you will, by videoing the house. That's really all you have to do. Let me explain briefly how it works. I've done this 3 different times, and the first time I did it, I was a little bit intimidated, right? It's something new, something that's a change. It's something I'm not used to. I didn't have to pull out my laser measure, but I did have to pull out my phone, and I decided that I would watch a couple videos on how to do it first. I didn't want to waste my money, if you will. I wanted to do it right. And I wanted to be fair to them, right? I didn't want it to be user error why I didn't like the program. And so I watched, I think they've got some tutorials or training videos on their website, right on the homepage, or maybe it's even on the app. You can download the app to your Android or iPhone. It seems like maybe the tutorials were right there when I opened it up. And they weren't long. I spent maybe 15 minutes total, and that includes going to YouTube and also YouTubing Kubicasa and looking at it. I think I watched maybe 2 videos, maybe 1 training video on the app and 1 training video on YouTube. Again, no more than about 15 minutes training, and I thought, okay, can't be that hard. Looks pretty easy to me. Here's how it works. You open it up, you turn your phone horizontal, if you will, long ways, and you tilt it down about 45 degrees, and you stand, say, in the front of the front door. I don't think it matters, but you're inside the house, interior, okay? And then you start to walk either, you can choose, it can either be counterclockwise or clockwise. I happen to choose counterclockwise, and I just started walking. And what you do is you walk around all of the walls on the inside of the house. So you imagine that you're walking around the house, your phone is kind of stretched out, you're watching the video, you hit start. It's like video, it's like turn on your video, right? And you're walking around the house. As you get to a new room, a little thing will pop up and say, do you want to use voice to text to define the room? By the way, the first time I used it, that did not happen. I don't know if it was a feature I did not have selected or if it's a new thing. I think it's kind of a new thing because I don't think it changed anything. But the last 2 times that I used it, it was on there. I thought that was kind of cool. You walk into a bedroom and you can click on a little microphone while you're filming. It doesn't stop. While you're walking, while you're filming, you click on the microphone and you say bedroom. And it pops up and it labels it bedroom. Why does that help? Well, because, what if it's a den, right? What if it's a music room? You want to call it a music room, not a living room, right? It allows you to basically, in fact, I did one that had an arcade. How in the world would it know it's an arcade unless I said it was an arcade? And that's what I did. And so as you're walking around, you are basically filming all of the walls. You are kind of pausing briefly at doors and windows, but not very long, and you basically work your way around the house. Just kind of imagine just snaking in and out of rooms and hitting all of the interior walls, and then walking to the next room and kind of just circling that room as best you can. Going around the whole house, go upstairs, go downstairs. You do not stop the video. You can actually go outside. I've not done this yet, but I hear you can go outside, point the camera down at the ground, so no longer you're at a 45 degree. It'll kind of stop the video, if you will, and you can walk to the ADU and do the guest house, and it will all be part of the same sketch, right? You get charged per sketch, by the way. You're not going to want to do a separate charge for an ADU that you would do for your regular house. When you're all done with that, you hit stop. I think think it asks you if you want to confirm, you upload it, and then you wait for the download on the other side. Folks, I did my own house and it took me 17 minutes. I did a little bigger house next and it took me 12 minutes. I think obviously it just had to do with the fact that I had done it enough at that point that kind of had figured it out. And then I actually did a small house. It took me 7 minutes. Okay, and it just kind of progressed that way. Not that I was getting that great. It was a smaller house, right? The bigger the house, the longer it's going to take you. You upload it to their website, and they, within hours or 24 hours, I think max, could be wrong on that, but I've never had it take more than 12 hours for them to give you back the sketch, the floor plan. It shows all of the walls. It shows the interior walls, shows the stairways. It even maps out the toilets and the sinks and the ovens and the showers, and I mean, it puts it all on. These things are pretty darn fancy. If you've not seen a sample, you need to go to their website and just look at a couple sample floor plans because they are pretty darn cool. Now, there's some pros and some cons. I want to share those with you when we get back from the break, but I love pausing and talking about a great company called ANow. ANow is a software, folks, that will keep track of your business. Okay. Yes, it keeps track of appraisals, and that is huge, and that's why most people jump on board. But what they don't realize is they're also getting the added benefit of knowing the numbers in their business. Therefore, they have an opportunity to be able to, know what their business is doing, making decisions that will help them to be more successful. Do you know how many reports at a touch of a button that you did last month? Have you ever done a year-on-year comparison with a month-on-month? In other words, how did you do in July of 2022 versus July of 2021? Right? Those are cool things that you can do when you are using ANow software. And folks, the price is minuscule compared to the value that you get. Trust me on this. ANow.com is where you find out more. It's ANOW.com. All right. Welcome back to the program, everybody. Dustin Harris, your humble host. Another mini-sode for you. We're doing a review on Kubicasa. Before the break, we talked a little bit about how to use Kubicasa. There are some pros and cons I want to share with you. One of the cons I see, and I kind of see why they do it, okay, because they're trying to make it as accurate as possible. They don't want the appraiser to manipulate the data, okay? One of the things they don't allow you to do is to change the dimensions of the exterior walls. Okay, you just can't do that. What you can do is you can edit room labels, and there's a couple other things you can do. But as far as moving the walls on the exterior, you cannot currently do that. I find that to be a con. Now, of the three, I only had to make one change. It was on my own house. And what it was is I was on the bonus room above the garage, and we've got a couple dormers, and those dormers are actually closets. Okay, they're not your typical dormers, and they're not high enough to be counted in as GLA. And one of those closets was closed, and Kubicasa figured out that it was a closet and did the dimensions. By the way, you do not have to open up. You do not have to open up closets. This program is really cool. It really is. I've blown away how accurate it was. Okay, but you can't do that. And so what you have to do is you have to give you have to request a change. And when it comes back. And you look at something and say, that's not quite right. You can just say, hey, on the top right corner of level number 3, that's actually a closet. That 9 by 4 is actually a closet, and they will fix it. By the way, they fixed it within hours. Wasn't a problem, right? But it is kind of a pain because it's a lot easier, of course, if you could just go in and do it yourself. Another con is it does take some time, right? You've got to be a little bit more meticulous and slow down. If you're doing an appraisal, you probably just need to go through the house twice, right? You can't really use Kubicasa and fill out your mobile form in total as you go through. You're going to have to do it 2 different times, and it doesn't really take pictures. It just takes video, so you're gonna have to go back and do your photos that way. You do need to kind of go through the house and open up all the doors, turn on the lights, so that you're not paused at each of the door doing before the Kubicasa. In fact, that kind of is the way that I think I would do it if I were doing inspections on a regular basis and I was using this. I would probably go through first with total, and I would do everything that I normally do, and I would just leave doors open and lights on when I do it. Of course, explaining to the homeowner what's going on so they don't close them and turn off the lights behind me. And then I would go through a second time with Kubicasa. So that's a bit of a con, I guess. It takes a little bit longer to do an inspection. They are not ANSI compliant, okay? I think they use the word that they are ANSI friendly. I'm using the wrong term, but when you go to their website, they say that they're ANSI close enough, kind of a thing. So be a little bit careful there. Don't think it's an ANSI standard. I think some of it has to do with the fact that the exterior walls may not be exactly right. Maybe they do 4-inch walls instead of 6-inch. I don't know. It's darn close. Let me put it this way. I did my house and then I measured my house, and I actually think that their measurements were more accurate than mine. I really do. I don't remember all the details, but I remember doing both and thinking, thinking that I would come out better because I've got the experience, I've got the laser, right? I think they actually beat me. They're pretty darn close. Here's a couple of pros. Again, you don't have to open up doors. They see. I'll give you an example. I went down to my storage room, and I'm a little bit embarrassed to admit this, but I'm going to admit it anyway. My storage room is a mess. Now, it's not actually messy. It just has a lot of stuff in it, right? And there was a whole section that you really could not even get within, 4 feet of the corner. You certainly couldn't see the corner. It was there, but you couldn't see it because we've got, some food storage in there and some other things that are being camping equipment and different things that are stored in there. You just cannot see the wall. And I thought, well, yeah, good luck, Kubicasa, right? In the same room, there's kind of a skiwampus, like not quite a 45-degree wall that kind of angles out and then bends over and goes back and forth. It's kind of a wonky thing. I thought, yeah, good luck, Kubicasa. Guess what, folks? They didn't need luck. They got skill because both of those things were in there. It was as if that storage room was empty. It was as if that wall was as straight as an arrow as far as the way that, in other words, Kubicasa didn't draw it straight. My point is it was no harder for Kubicasa to get that wall correct and get the dimensions correct as it would be for a straight wall. There's some pretty darn cool things about Kubicasa. I will say this, it's not cheap. I have one mastermind student who uses it on every single report, just because that's a business decision that he has made. I don't think I'd do that. I'm not going to give you the price because it may change, right? And I know this episode will last forever. But as of this recording, I thought it was a little bit steep. And they do give you a bulk discount, but I don't know any appraiser that hits that bulk. From what I remember, it's like 500 reports a month and they'll give you a discount. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen in my office, right? Maybe in yours. I don't know. But there's some pros, there's some cons. I think it's a great tool to have in your backpack. You don't have to be charged a monthly fee to have it on your phone. This is the way I use it in my business, folks. I tell my appraisers, say, listen, you show up to one of these luxury properties that's almost 10,000 square feet, and you're going to be there over an hour, trying to sketch this sucker out. Use Kubicasa, right? Just throw the other out. Just use Kubicasa. Save some time. Yeah, you still might be there 45 minutes total, right? But it's a whole lot better than trying to do something wonky. And what about these ones that have all these angles? And it's just a great thing to have in your backpack. I think it's a great program. I will continue to use it when I need to, but I probably won't use it all the time. You should check it out. I'm going to give you the website. And I was wrong earlier when I said there was 2 S's. There's only one. Okay, I don't know how you spell casa in Spanish. Maybe this is the way you do it. Probably is, right? www.cubi.casa. C-A-S-A. www.cubi.casa. Not com. Okay, cubi.casa is how you find it. And check it out. It's a pretty cool program.
You've been listening to the Appraiser Coach podcast with Dustin Harris. If you like what you hear, please give us a 5-star rating and post a short review on iTunes. For more in-depth insider information on how you can make more money as a real estate appraiser, visit theappraisercoach.com and sign up for the All-Star team today. Thanks for joining us. And now, get out there and create some value.